It's 8:18. I'm talking with our next guest right here. We're happy to welcome him in person after Zooming with him for so long. Local political commentator Stephen Kent out with his book, How the Force Can Fix the World. It addresses political polarization and prescribing the wisdom of Star Wars. Stephen's with us in studio. It's good to have you back in studio. First time in the new loft, so welcome.
Very nice to be here.
So I have to ask you, first of all, about the Star Wars analogies. You could have gone with anything here for the book. Why Star Wars?
Well, Star Wars, I think for me, like a lot of people out there in your audience, has been a thing that has united like 4 generations of families. You know, grandparents and their grandkids can actually talk about a movie that they both know and recognize. Star Wars has always been a part of my life. It's stayed a part of my professional life in weird ways, and it felt right to write this book.
So, Stephen, here's the thing, though. There's great Star Wars movies, and there's not great Star Wars movies. And you come right out of the gate with a Phantom Menace analogy. Are we just going to like start there and build?
I love it all. I'm a canon completist, so I try to look at all Star Wars as some are home runs and some are just second base hits. But there's something to be found in every single Star Wars movie if you're looking closely, whether it's just stories of incredible humility that almost model like a Christ-like way to live, or whether it just model like the belief in free will and whether or not you can control your destiny. Star Wars has it all from episode 1 to episode 9. There's something for everybody.
The big picture here, obviously, you're using this as a catalyst to talk about the events of today and what we are dealing with. You've gotten response from both sides of the aisle here. What's the plan to do that, to draw that together, take Star Wars stories and essentially use that as a counterpoint to modern day?
Yeah, so Star Wars appeals to just about everybody. That's why it is so popular. This book takes all the political problems we're facing today, whether it be political polarization, pandemic, enmity in our politics, where we hate each other all of a sudden. This book tries to speak to everybody by reminding us that Star Wars is a story about seeing past the masks of our opponents, trying to will the good of others and see the best in people. I take stories from both sides of the left and the right to say, like, look, these are areas where you've got to try to get a little bit over yourself, look in the mirror. And I do it not by talking about politics, but by talking about Star Wars. Because when you can put something in the middle, a filter, to sort of take the sting out of talking about politics, you can have a much more constructive conversation. Pop culture allows us to do that.
People could say that and say, okay, now relatable, and then I can let my mind wander from there.
The power of metaphor and analogy.
So speaking of that, was there one issue, modern day, that was the catalyst for the book?
There wasn't one particular issue, but I think, like a lot of people, I was watching the events of January 6th at the Capitol building with my jaw hanging down to the floor and horrified. I was sitting in a coffee shop as all of this was kind of going down and working on the book. And I was writing the chapter on empathy and how in Star Wars you have this task of heroes having to see their opponents, usually these scary guys in black masks, right, as human beings who are people who can be reached. And look, this is the great challenge of our time when the internet is the buffer between us and reality, between us and our neighbors. We need to find ways to try to see the people who we disagree with as people and stop the dehumanization in our politics. And if you just watch Star Wars with a critical eye, you see how this is the call of heroes. You have to do exactly this. So I think that was the thing that made me realize I've got to finish this book and I've got to put it out, because Star Wars is a story that can't fix our politics, but it can fix you. And if there's enough individual change in the world, our politics can get better.
So our lives will go on. Our drama in Washington will certainly go on. Should Star Wars go on? Do we need more movies?
Well, it's going to go on whether you like it or not. That is where it is at. I'm excited about the next couple chapters in Star Wars. There's drama going on this week about what the next movies are going to be. But everyone loves these streaming shows on Disney+. It's been fantastic. The Mandalorian's like a new chapter in Star Wars history, and I'm here for it.
Well, congrats on putting pen to paper, Stephen. I know you got a book signing tonight in the district, and hopefully more events coming up as well. We appreciate you joining us, and I know you'll be back to see Jim Loke and the Final Five, hopefully in studio soon.
Steve, may the force be with you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thanks.
Cheers. Jeanette, back to you.
Sounds like a fascinating read. Great interview.